So as you guys know, we've got Season 7 of Battlefield 2042, and it's just now hitting the mid-season, and EA just announced some new content that's dropping, and it's the Stadium map that they've redesigned and made a little better. So as you guys know, EA has already stated that they're done with Battlefield 2042 and they're going to be shifting gears to focus on the next Battlefield on the horizon. What that's going to be, I can only speculate, but I can hope that it's going to be a very good one, because there's a lot of things that make me think it could be, but then some things that make me think it isn't going to be. But that's another topic in itself. Let's just focus on the final bit of content that's coming with Season 7, which is this new map, which is really actually a redesign of an old map to make it a little bit more playable, have a lot of great close quarter combat. Now, with that said, I'm a bit upset about 2042 live service being, we're just going to use it to fix the game. I really want there to be a Battlefield that just comes out good as it is, and then the live service is actually a true live service we can imagine, kind of like we've seen with other game titles, where they just do updates to make, like, I don't know, gunplay a little bit better or something like that. But when it comes to content, it's not redesigning old maps, it's new maps coming in. And if they do have to redesign an old map, they still give you a new map, if you know what I mean. But anyway, that's another topic in itself. Let's focus on what we get with the stadium. You can see that it looks a little bit different. There's a lot more close quarter combat. Now, I would have really liked to see this map be designed differently, where not as much sand dunes. Like, it starts off with no sand dunes, and then as, like, you know, the tornado or sandstorm comes in, suddenly you get like all these sand dunes and stuff, kind of like what we've seen with Battlefield 4 Levolution. When the buildings fall down, the map changes, so you kind of have like a 2-in-1 map. And I was kind of hoping that this would happen with these 2042 maps, but it just didn't. And you can see how it looks like before and then after. Bam, we got ourselves some neon lights and some fire. Golly, it looks good. All right, but on a serious note, when we look inside on the interior and everything, we see a lot more sandbags and different designs for more cover. I don't think there's going to be much destruction, if any destruction at all. Like, you can see the lighting got better too. They brightened it up a bit so you can see a lot better. And kind of one of the things that first comes up to mind is like all these red pipes. I don't know about you guys, but bro, every time I play a game and I see anything red that's like a pipe or a barrel, I think, shoot it, it'll blow up. So I feel like there's an opportunity here that they could, I don't know, make it some kind of like interact with your environment, and like you could shoot these pipes and then it'll blow up and do damage to people on the ground, kind of like what we've seen with Battlefield 3, where you could, like, there's these alleyways you could be in and you could shoot the building's rooftop, and the debris from it that falls down would kill people underneath, and you'd get more kills than you would have just shooting them with the RPG directly. That's what I'm kind of hinting at here. Like, I don't know if they missed the opportunity here. Like, I don't know how much this engine is capable of doing. And from what they're saying, the new engine is going to be used on the new Battlefield to make that one really incredible. Are they going to miss the point of what they need to do? I don't know. One of the things is be very creative. Let us be creative in how we play the game and do things like we were in Battlefield 3. So in this case, blowing up the pipe. I am going to test it out when I get to play this. I will be able to record this and post some content on it, so I'll be able to show you guys this ahead of time. But for now, let's continue with this and see what else we got. But there's some funny memes I saw about this map and how it's designed, which is pretty much kind of true. Like, what is A doing out there? And all the other flags are kind of just grouped together. And some people are speculating that the flags are actually different levels. So they look like they're all beside each other, but it's actually multiple levels in the stadium. So that's why it kind of looks like that. So I'm assuming A1 and B1 are on the ground floor, whereas C, D, and E are on a second, third, and fourth level, maybe? I really don't even know. It seems like we'll figure that out as it goes. But you can see they did provide a little bit more cover. They really want you to play with more close quarter combat and all that. If you guys remember, one of the biggest things is they're introducing sandbags now for a war-torn feel, because when these maps dropped, it just was so clean and there was no war-torn feel or like a war was going on there, because no matter what, you're always going to see like some kind of cover and sandbags and whatnot when it comes to like these types of maps with Battlefield 4 or so on. But now it seems like they're finally introducing it, so it kind of has that Battlefield vibe to it. You can actually use some cover, and I'm kind of looking forward to see how this plays out. I am a little upset that, you know, 2042 didn't live up to our expectations of how ever the media team made it look so good. But if you guys remember in the trailer, there was always also this plane looking thingy hoodie. Now that is the real question. This is also coming into the mid-season, and I think there's like a new weapon or something as well. So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing how this stadium plays out, as well as that plane, and see how all of this rolls together. Some people are speculating it's going to be very unbalanced or whatnot, but you know, hey, content at the end of the day is content, and I'll take it, and it's something 2042 really needs. But with that said, this is probably the last bit of content we're ever going to see for Battlefield 2042, because Season 7's over and they've already announced they're moving over to the next Battlefield, which some people are actually like, thank goodness, or thank God, it's finally happening. We're finally focusing on the next Battlefield. And granted, I am going to say this about 2042 after its entire life cycle. What the heck? I mean, on one hand, you had them trying out some things where they destroyed the core of the class system, which they should have never done that. The core should stay the core. But on the other hand, they also had been screwed over with COVID. And being as COVID was, people couldn't work in the office, so that delayed things, and they really should have delayed Battlefield to meet the expectations of what the audience wanted. So it was a truly unfinished game when it came out. And a lot of times in development, devs will test things out and try different things and see how that plays, and then tweak it and make it better over development phase. So there's things like in Battlefield 1 that should have been, and I can't even talk about it, but I will just say this. There were things in Battlefield 1 that should have been, but never got to be because they were in a test phase, and they realized this isn't going to work, so we're not going to put it in there, as amazing as it is. So one of the things I'm assuming happened with Battlefield 2042 is they were testing things. They were trying different things, and then COVID and everything else that happened screwed it over, and they couldn't complete it, nor perfect it, nor polish it, which is probably why the map seemed so bland and so open and different things, especially with the class system. I think they were testing things, and then they couldn't complete it, so they just had to go with what they had and so on. So, I mean, with that said, I guess that's my little bit of hope for this next Battlefield. And I think they're going to nail it. I do. I have high hopes. They have to. I mean, at the end of the day, they have to, because we're looking at like serious money lost by them and so on. And a lot of people are jumping the gun and saying they're never going to achieve it. But dude, they can probably achieve it. If they can save Star Wars Battlefront from what that was to something kind of incredible, and then saving Battlefield 5 to something pretty decent, and 2042 to something fairly decent, I think they can make a good one off the bat and then make it even better. And if you don't believe me, look at Battlefield 4, which had problems in the beginning, was actually pretty dang nice and made it incredible. Same thing with Battlefield. Actually, Battlefield 3 had a little bit of that too in its development cycle, and even Battlefield 5 or Battlefield 1, actually, they had that too. Well, Battlefield 1 released pretty dang good, and they had CTE to make it even better. So ultimately, I think this next Battlefield is going to be great. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like and let me know in the comments what you guys think of this new stadium and all the things that are happening with Battlefield and its future. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode.